Hello, Jesse Rzinski, back for another Jesse Rzinski show, and I'm finally going to move off my soapbox I've been on the last 2 days. I think I've made enough points on it. I still don't get how people don't give a damn about anything that's happening, or any of the actual numbers or statistics, or, corruptness of the government. I mean, it's kind of actually terrifying that people don't give a single damn about any of it unless it directly affects them. Well, sooner or later, I mean, it's going to affect someone you know, it's going to affect you, all of that. But today, now that I sat around, I heard a bit, too much probably, of the House idiots, as I'll call them, impeachment managers, I think is their official title. Heard them, yeah. All they did was just throw out a bunch of, altered videos where they edit out anything positive that was said. And look what he did here. Oh, and here's the thing when he said Charlottesville, and here's what he did here. And you mean to tell me that not only did he do a snap impeachment, I believe the day after, it took him that many months to do anything all year for years now, but they managed to do a snap impeachment right away, no investigation, no witnesses, no anything. Right after the 6th. Took them that many weeks to bring it over. And that's all they had. That's it. That's... I don't even like them. And I'm embarrassed for them. That was it. We got a bunch of edited videos together and showed, video of what happened on the 6th. Which, granted again, I do not condone any of it. I condemned it then, I condemn it now, and I condemned all the violence that happened last summer. Because that's what it is. Violence is violence. No matter who's doing it, it should all be condemned. So we can be a better people. People should be held accountable for their stupidity. But, really, after that many weeks, that's what you guys showed up with? I know everyone's going to be, oh, but they're doing such a good job. It's yeah, but all they had was, edited video clips to, where they cut out key parts just so you could hear it oh, he said this, but, that's it? Just by taking his whole entire speech, because, I actually listen to people when they talk, no matter whose side they're on, call me crazy, but, I think everyone should do that, but, I could have taken down what they came at him with. All you have to do is show the unedited clips where, they cut off right before he says peacefully and patriotically, march down there and let your voices be heard. While the attack was already happening and people were already down there at those gates before he even took the stage to talk by the official timeline. You're trying to get him for incitement. Why? Because of his words? I already had the episode. We went over it. They take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Pretty sure that was Joe Biden on the campaign trail. Johnny Depp talking about assassinating him. Madonna talking about blowing up the White House. De Niro saying he wanted to punch him in the face. Maxine Waters saying she wanted to take him out tonight at one point. And again, because he said we have to fight like hell. And that's all we heard from any one of the Democrat candidates, this time last year. And there was a lot of them. It seemed like there was over 10 at one point on the debate stage together. There was a lot of people on there. And they all had, we have to fight like hell. Every time. Then they kept saying it even when the riots were happening. Again, I'm not going to talk about the peaceful protests that happened during the day. Most of those people were gone when the curfew hit and the sun went down, and then all hell broke loose. There's no mostly peaceful about none of it. If that's mostly peaceful, then, OJ was mostly peaceful that day. And he should just got to wipe his hands. He pretty much did. Got away with that one. But, that was, the best they came up with. Was he said to fight like hell. All of you did. All of you have for years. Correct me where I'm wrong. The lead manager literally jumped up and wanted to, fight for Alabama, I believe the state was, which Trump won by 30 points. Went over it before, he won by a lot. Jamie Raskin got up and, wanted to debate that one, get them to relook at it, not certify it. Like, there were many Democrats that got up that day, actually. In some states where he won by a mile. I mean, so, and they said fight the whole time. They did it all. Like, he incited it by challenging the outcome, like you guys did just a few years ago. Like, I mean, literally, though. Like, that's what you came up with. You had all of these weeks. You rushed it anyway because there was no investigation, witnesses, due process, anything. Hell, the government didn't even really, start investigating what happened yet. Like, they didn't have any answers. Now it's all come out that, again, this incitement was planned for weeks in advance. The request for additional troops got turned down by the House, Senate, and Mayor Bowser. So why do you, if this wasn't just political theater, why the hell did they do it? Because there's no chance it was going to work. They literally said it was, they got him for incitement for what he said there. And in their, speech, when they were going after him, presenting their case, they even admitted that it was planned weeks in advance. So they defeated their whole argument. This kind of fits in with people saying, why are you bothered by it? Because, when due process doesn't happen, people don't get their rights. You're impeaching someone over incitement of violence on the 6th when it started, even before he started talking. And all hell was breaking loose before he got to that part of the speech. And he said, walk down there and peacefully and patriotically let your voices be heard. And he said, if the senators, we got to fight, even though some senators won't, and I know who they are, but if they don't, we need to primary the hell out of them in 2022. It's funny that they kept that part of the speech out, too, of everything they laid on the table to go after him. I was a delinquent, lazy POS back in, from middle school on. And, I could have, outdid what they came up with. Literally. Me, back in high school. Anyone that knew me back then, hell, most people didn't even know I went to the school because I was never there. And I could have defended him against what they came up with. I mean, literally, should have just walked up and they got him for incitement for that day. Here's the timeline. Here's what he actually said at his speech. And here's the fact that it was, now proven that by the FBI, DOJ, all these people, that it was planned weeks in advance, 4 weeks. So that's all you have to say. Done. Boom. They were going to do it regardless because they were planning it for forever, and his words didn't have an impact at all because their agitators were already down there at those barricades, and they were already starting the attack before they were at the barricades before he took the stage. They were already doing, all hell was breaking loose down there before he got done talking, well before he got done talking. And all you people, oh, it's okay, well, they're going to get him for what? You guys actually, said we're impeaching him for this. And then went and actually, threw out there that he didn't actually do that in your own, in your own words. When you're trying to make the case, it's kind of probably a bad idea. I don't know. Ask Marissa. I don't know. She's my one lawyer. But if you're trying to get someone convicted of something, it's probably bad to beat your whole entire argument in your opening statements. To literally say we're getting him for this, but yeah, it was planned for weeks and they were already going to do it regardless, and the pipe bombs were planned the night before. I mean, and if you're going to go straight on the words, because he said to fight like hell, guess what? All of them do. Joe Biden, Kamala, many members of the squad, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. The list goes on. Mitch McConnell. You don't hear, Ted Cruz, Jim Jordan. There's many people on both sides that have used that, through the history of all political anything. We have to fight to stand up for this and fight for this and fight for that. So any of you people that support this thing, even though there's no proof, he did any of it, how do you defend that? When you defeat your own argument yourself? Like, so, hell, I'm not a Democrat. Just because I don't like the crazy progressive socialist type things that, they wanted to do. Sorry, I think it's crazy. And it's damning. And it's not a good fit for us as a free country with laws, borders, all those things. But, like, that's what they came up with? And damn, to quote Ron Simmons. I probably could have said it more forcefully, but, well, it wouldn't sound as good as him. But, yeah. I was sitting there watching it, mostly thinking, like, I remember that speech. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. No, I've even looked it up and saw it just because people are throwing a fit. Yeah, I watched it. Like, that's not what that out of context and edited. Like, that's the best you can come up with. That proves they knew they had nothing, and all it is political theater. If they are defeating their own argument in their opening statement, that proves that what all of us said for forever, that it was just political theater, and it was just a game. Try to remove him from them ever having to deal with him again. I mean, they did the same thing, though. They edited it all down, like to tell everyone to inject bleach. And if you look it up, like even the CNN fact checkers said he didn't actually directly say that, but they sure played the video to make it look like they did on all the liberal news. But if you watch the whole thing, yeah, that's not what he said. The Charlottesville thing. Like, watch the whole thing. And he talked about that. When he said there are very nice people on both sides, he was talking about the people that were there peacefully with their signs protesting, which you're allowed to peacefully protest. You're allowed to do. There were good people on both sides for there. And then he just went and spun it out to how, he's making out, white supremacists and this, that, and the other into bad people. Into, like, great people. There's great people on both sides. Like, no, he was talking about the people that are peacefully doing their thing. Which you might not agree with them, but they're there. They're allowed to peacefully do it. You're allowed to. And then when you go down there and fight, just like when they showed it on the thing. And I was like, I caught the end of that speech. Yeah, he said peacefully and patriotically. I have, like, the transcript, like, saved somewhere. Like, that's all they had, which is all what the liberal news media's had for all these years. And there's been some stories, but you notice how they, the people on the left, which is why I don't like them, or the media, I really just don't. But I went from Russia, where, we even had government officials on TV saying, yes, we have proof of collusion, and then under oath, testifying, said, yeah, we got nothing. And then they moved right on to, the Stormy Daniels thing, the more Russia, impeachment, the bleach thing, like taxes. Like, you ever notice how they never stuck with one thing and then suddenly it was just gone and they moved to another one? Yeah, it's because they had nothing. All they have is edited speeches that you can easily look up yourself and find out that it's just not true. It's sad that people don't do that. I wish more people would do that, but yeah. And that's all you have to do to understand just how fabricated and how big of a crock most of it is. I said most. There are sometimes foot and mouth happens, but it's a complete crock. Just like this. They rush through it. No due process, no investigation, even not by any form of anything. They went right out there the next day and took his words as that, even though they're, especially some of the people that were up there, like, doing it, like the Pelosi's of the world, because, they're, the Speaker of the House, like, she's in charge of the Sergeant at Arms, whatever they're called in the House, like, just a Capitol Police guy who requested help. House, Senate, and the mayor all turned it down. Like, that argument was defeated, like, what? By the 8th or 9th of January? And look, we had all these requests for help that got denied. I mean, I knew that. I knew that just because, well, I know how to read. Crazy as it sounds. And look this stuff up and you just observe and talk to people and just read, and looks like it's not hard. But, I mean, all I gotta say is if you're on the left and you're saying, well, torch him. Like, we finally got him for what? There's nothing there. You defended him just as good, if not better, than his own lawyers did. Him being Donald Trump. So, there's a full round of applause for you, too. As, man, oh man, did you defend him for him. And that is why I care so much, because we're literally wasting taxpayer dollars and time when we have real issues to worry about. And they're wasting time on this again. And they defended President Trump for him. But, yep, just wanted to move on to another thing besides what I was doing the last 2 days. Hopefully people will start to care more. Hopefully the weather will finally stop raining on me for more than 5 seconds, so I can probably try to enjoy myself. And if you're up there with snow or anything, enjoy yourself. Hang out with your kids. Do something. I don't know. Read some books. Research stuff. Talk to people. But stay safe, stay healthy, have a good weekend, and until next time, my friends, peace.